I think the first time I found out I was undocumented was when I was in 5th grade, and I was awarded the George W. Bush President's Award. It was an award given to students who excelled in academics, and it was an all-expenses-paid trip to Washington, D.C. I was so excited and happy to go because it would be the first time I'd be on a plane. Until my mom told me, "Hijo, tú no puedes ir. Son, you can't go. Tú no tienes papeles. You don't have papers." I was so destroyed and distraught because I couldn't go on a plane. And then she continued to say, "No le digas a nadie que no tienes papeles. Don't tell anyone you don't have papers." And so I didn't know what that meant at that time. I was in 5th grade. But I did that throughout middle school and high school. It was like living in the shadows because then I had to keep a secret from everybody else. So as I progressed through my educational career, I started seeing that I was withheld and bounded by my documentation status. I had lots of opportunities that I couldn't take. Like, for example, there were many college-sponsored programs that I was eligible for. High GPA, had a great personal statement, and a personal background. Until I got to the final box, which would be proof of legal citizenship. And so then this is where my change started coming in. I started becoming much more angry and jealous of all my peers because they were able to take these opportunities and I couldn't. Not because I didn't work hard enough, not because I didn't have the merits or the grades to, but because of something that was out of my control, which would be being born from another country, Mexico. And so then I started becoming much more angry, more jealous, and more ashamed of who I was and the reasons why. It would be even much more disheartening when I saw teachers tell me, "Well, why don't you take this opportunity? You're such a good fit." Because I would have to hold in that rage and that anger to spite out. But I still had to respond in a nonchalant way by saying, "Oh, well, I had to work with my parents," or "I didn't feel like it." When in reality, I worked hard to even get there. With all this anger and rage pent up inside me, I just became tired of it. I became tired of being angry. I became tired of hating it. So then I started seeing and noticing, all right, I can't change my documentation status, but what can I change? What can I do so I can have other resources and opportunities available for me? So as I received many opportunities and was denied because of my status, I started looking at other things. Rejection started to become way much more easier to handle. And so if one door closed before I got there, I tried to look for the second one. And if that door closed, I looked for a third one. And if the other one closed, I looked for a fourth one. And I kept on going and I kept on being more persistent. And that's where my change started to happen, is because I noticed that I can't change anything about my documentation status. Not now, but maybe in the future. So what can I do now to fix my situation? And that's where the pragmatism came in. Now I've become a person who is much more competitive and resilient because of the changes that I've done within my perception. Because now I accepted that I can't change being born from another country. Hi, my name is Angel Leonel Gutierrez. I go to Los Angeles City College. I'm a theater arts major with an emphasis in producing and directing.